and welcome to Think Big. I'm your host, Akia Garnett. I'm excited about today's show. I am joined in the studio by Blake Holmes. He is a young and up-and-coming hip-hop performing artist. He is with Heatwave Entertainment. He's been performing since he was a small person. He's still a younger person, but he's definitely enhanced his craft over the years, and we're going to be talking about that tonight. Perhaps you've seen me sharing some of this on social this week. Make sure you're connected with me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Akia Garnett. You can also hop over to akiagarnett.com, and on that site you will see a lot of information about the show. But you'll also see a blog where I share information and tips with you as entrepreneurs and small business owners that will help you refine your craft in whichever industry you're in. Again, that's akiagarnett.com. Follow me there, and I look forward to connecting with you in that space. So without further ado, hello there, Blake.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Oh, I about that. Thank you first, right?
Yeah, it's always good to be gracious, so no problem.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about how you found your way into hip-hop.
When I was younger, I used to ride around with my dad in the car, and he had 3 tapes. I always forget the third one. It was an En Vogue tape, a Kenny G tape, and I used to switch all of them out, and I kind of like fell in love with music that way. And eventually, like, I learned all the songs on the radio and everything like that. Then I started writing my own.
Nice.
And it was a rap ever since then.
Do you remember your first performance?
My first performance, I think it was at a talent show. And I think I took a book up there to read from the book while I was performing. Mm-hmm. It didn't go well, though. Yeah, it didn't go well, but it was cool.
How do you feel about all the recent celebrations in the Grammys? You know, Chance the Rapper took home a lot of stuff.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's big for hip hop because he's an independent artist. So it's nice to see that, you know, that can be done without major labels.
How did you choose hip hop versus rap? How did you choose which actual genre you wanted to fall under mostly, or do you go by both?
I mean, actually, I always want to say something. I guess the artists that influenced me kind of always had a message in their rhyme. Mm-hmm. So I was always like, I'm not going to waste the spotlight. You know, I'm not just going to take the time to say nothing. I'm always try to say something that's going to mean something or be impactful. So that's always been my motto.
And where does all the inspiration when it comes to music and rap come from? I know you said you used to ride around with your father in the car, and
right.
But then eventually, that turned into your own passion, your own love. So now, when you are up there and you're performing, where are you drawing inspiration from?
I think it's just in me. Like, I think I really am meant to be doing it. I've been thinking about the same thing every day for like 10 years now, and we finally in a position where like we actually doing it, and we've been prepping for some time. So I just feel like the motivation is always there for some reason. And like, I love to write, but when I hear the music, it always like speaks to me in a certain way. So it's just like, I always, it's not hard, you know what I mean, to fall into that zone.
Have you found writing to be very helpful? I mean, a lot of people are freestyling and they may not pick up a piece of paper and pen or use their iPad or go online or whatever. How do you break into the whole writing thing?
I just grow accustomed to writing. Like, I really, really wanted this bad, So like every day I was like 16 or another song, and that kind of eventually became routine. So it's just like now, I don't know. It's just like the writing. It's always been my favorite part of the process anyway.
That's awesome because when I look at some of the hip hop artists and also rap artists, they will show stacks of their journals. Right. I mean, they are seriously putting down lyrics and lines of poetry. It's not just.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's definitely real. Yeah, yeah. That's my favorite thing to do. I like writing more than all the other stuff we get to do. I love it all, but it's just like the writing part. It's just like it's something so real about that connection when I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so original. I can't really explain it, but that's my favorite thing to do is write.
Wow. And so do younger kids come up to you and they want to know what do they need to do to break into music and so forth?
Sometimes we get that question.
Have you gotten that a lot yet? Not yet.
Sometimes, I might get it. Yeah, and the advice I usually do give is just stick to it.
Yeah.
You're going to hit a lot of bumps, but as long as you stay with it and stay consistent and get a great team, you're going to be straight.
So where'd you grow up, like?
I grew up here in D.C., Northeast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proud Northeast.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is
you
what
know?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how do you see your career evolving, over time? Because naturally, music in DC is just starting to really come to its own,
Yes,
come
ma'am.
into its own. There's still a lot of growth opportunity there. There's something called the creative, class, and that's where a lot of, communities are welcoming in artists of all types. And so,
That's hot.
economies are making room for artists, but it's still, we've got a long ways to go. Have you been thinking about like your life and
Of course. I mean, we're going to get our Grammys, we're going to drop our albums, but I really want to start our own, like, where we already got the label now, but just an extension off of that. I really want to be, a CEO, a
Yeah.
boss, step into some other business ventures. Like, I got a lot of ideas like that, but
Yeah.
it's
How-
always a future for it.
and how did you connect with Heatwave?
Oh, those been my people for what? Like, since I was in high school, for real.
Yeah.
Like, they came and got me out of high school, and we, not like out of high school, but like after
They didn't
school,
come and get you out of high school,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? That sounds terrible, right? But ever since high school, we've been going to the studio, working, and, ever since then, it's just been a relationship, a bond. The music got better, I got better, and now we matching up good now. It's
Yeah.
all good.
That's awesome. So it's amazing when you have that kind of support.
Right, I'm lucky.
Especially over the years. I mean, you guys have grown together, I guess.
Of course, yeah. And there's been a lot of other people along the way, too. I can't forget to shout out my man Kenny and a couple other people that have really, been key in the process. Because I graduated from Duke Ellington.
Nice.
So that was a big piece of
Yeah.
why,
And what did you major in at that school? Because you've got to have a track and everything.
right. I was an instrumentalist there.
Yeah, what'd you
I
play?
played the flute there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So will
You
you?
made me say that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm joking.
Maybe you'll just have a nice little solo
It's
in one
all
of your
good.
on one of your
Everybody
pieces.
says that. Like,
You
I'm gonna get you to
should.
play the flute on this
Yeah.
joint, right?
What's wrong with the flute? Is there something?
Nah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't know. Not my
I
thing
played the
right now.
clarinet. So,
Really?
Yeah. I did.
Woodwinds, we representing.
Yeah,
we representing.
yeah.
I like it.
So, the big news right now with you is that you have just dropped a major project,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
Am Black.
Yes, ma'am.
And from the cover art, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you so
it's
much.
amazing. You have some of the greats in the African American community who have made such an incredible impact.
Yes, ma'am.
And I wonder, more about that project and specifically how you chose to show that these are the folks who influenced you.
It was more just the timing. The timing was right. It wasn't like a thing where we were like, we're gonna go get these people and things like that. It was just like everything for this project kind of fell into place, if that makes any sense. And I can honestly just say it's really time for the project. Like, it's nothing stopping it. The universe is really making sure that everything goes right.
Yeah,
So it wasn't anything special that we did. I can't really say,
yeah. Your message seems so timely right now.
I know, right? And
Yeah.
that was another thing. I was just like, it was a couple months ago, and we were all just sitting down, and we were like, we were about to put out something. And then we noticed that February was coming out, and then
Yeah.
all these things are going on in the world. So I was like, I want to just write about that,
Yeah.
So it turned out really nice.
That's awesome. And it's great when an opportunity opens up and you actually have the capability
Right,
and the time to really take advantage of it.
Yeah,
And the resources and a great label like Heatwave behind you.
that's the beauty in the whole situation. It's just like, if you got to stay consistent with it, because if you would have fell off or anything like that, things wouldn't line up, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, the way that you want them to. So I'm happy.
One of the pieces on Blake Holmes's new project is called I Matter.
1, 2. I go by the name of the MC. It's me, say word, listen, picture this, now figure this. The whole culture up for grabs to get them rich, I'm Nat Turner, soul a sojourner. If you ain't know, you better learn it. Hey, put your fist up, get your wrist cut. Hey, homie caught a bullet in the mixer. Nan's mama crying to the pastor's crying to the master's like, what you mad for? Don't you know you matter to the masses? If you didn't, man, they would never have more. One nation under God, but I'm checking expiration on my passport. Look, is it any love for our black men? Is it any love for my black skin? Yeah, I fell in love with the beat, took the seat, jotted down, trying to eat like Pac-Man. What?
My life matters. 'Cause I matter.
us, but we don't speak. Yeah. So much trouble on our home streets. The judge can't judge us, but he don't sleep. Locked inside a bubble with the struggle and the police. Claim to know the most when we gon' think. It's the time to be close, I pray this poem reach. Big business steady tricking on the broke feed. Mama donate heavy, but they flipping all the proceeds. And his kids still dying. Cigarettes a killer, but we still there buying. Swimming in the liquor with a pill nearby. Pray to get the bigger picture, keep it still, we'll rising up. Cause it's a struggle enough when you out here trying to live, but you label a thug. And no matter what you give, you never giving enough. It's time we take an extra minute to love.
Cause I'm mad. My life matters. Cause I'm mad. My life matters. 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 Cause I'm mad.
Till we seen a lie, I'm sick of tripping off differences. Been a struggle pretending, wishing within the plot. This ain't a movie, we live it. We fellowship with the hitters, whipping the scenic route. We never had much. Out here ducking the bad, shuffling bad luck. Type of hunger we have, we hooking scraps up. In class, no paper bag lunch. You look at the past pattern, the math just adds up. The have-nots, they say the knowledge guarded deeper than cash spots. You looking for a home, they'll be eager to cash out. Book a box with padlocks, you blast the past shot. The money seem to feed all things. All the leaders seem to went low-key. That a R.I.P. They call me crazy, I'll be CeeLo Green. But only God could ever cease these dreams.
Cause I'm mad. My life matters. Cause I'm mad.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed that. So tell us a little bit about what's behind I Matter.
That record, B produced the record. My brother B, he produced the record. We got Rada MC on the first verse. She's a DC artist. Well, she's an artist from DC. Who else is on the record? My brother Hallucination. He plays the guitar on the track. Mm-hmm. My girlfriend Mia J is on the track, and then there's me.
Yeah. And Mia J, she's done something else with you, right?
Yeah, she's low key. She's on every song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people really notice, but she's on everything.
Okay, so shout out to your girlfriend.
Always. She at work right now, but she knows. She probably watching.
Uh-huh. So tell us about how long you've actually been starting the tour for this new project. Because I know you've been in Atlanta. I know you've got some stuff coming up in Denver. What's going on?
We started this tour at the beginning of February, but we've been doing a lot of radio shows in the city, and we did a few in Atlanta. We're going to Baltimore in like a week or so, and we're starting to really expand and get out there as far as we can as far as the project, because I feel like it's such a good time for it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to like pick up on it, and as many people as we can reach to get to listen to it, they're actually going to like it, and I feel like it's going to impact a lot of people. So that's the main goal. We've been out here for like a month though.
And aside from like, downloads and and sales and things like that, that's basic business. You know, you want to make those impressions.
Of course, yeah. Numbers are always, great.
Yeah.
That's what you get the money from.
So what else though are you wanting to see happen as a result of the touring that you're going to do, the people that you're going to meet, the opportunities that you're going to have in front of the camera?
This is just like we're getting it going. I'm not really expecting to like I would say blow up or anything like that off of this, but I'm excited because like I actually have a concept with this thing, with this I Am Black album. So it's like we can have conversations about current events and we can tie that into all that we're doing with the project. So that's what I'm really excited about. But another thing I'm excited about is our first project, and we're out here like this. So we got like, no exaggeration, we got like a good 4 or 5 years worth of music, you know what I'm saying, just stacked up already. We got like 4 EPs planned out for this year. So it's just like, we in it.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know what I mean, we're not hopping out of it. So now it's just go time. That's the most exciting thing about it, though. It's just like, now we finally in it.
And when you finish with something, are you just done with it, or you want to, stick with it, or are you on to the next thing? Because like you're finished with this project now, but of course you're in promotion phase. And
yes, man. I think, yeah, that's kind of how my brain works. It's just like I get so excited. It's like when I finish one project, I'm already thinking about the next one. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just how I kind of work. It's not. And it's not so organized either. It's like I can't help but write a song. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to plan it out. It's just like really what we do.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of records. That's the main thing. It's like people don't realize these are just like 5 or like 6 or 7 records, but it's a lot more coming. So that's, once again, like that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
And one of your earlier projects is called Testify.
Yeah, that's one of our first. Shout out to Steven Padilla.
Tell us about that.
He produced that record. My man Steven produced the record. We recorded that maybe like a year or 2 ago, I would say. And it wasn't a big plan with the song. We just happened to do it, and it turned out to be really nice. Really, like, really, really nice. So my man Alvin was like, we got to shoot a video to this, you know? So we went and found a good friend of Alvin's, and he did the video for us. Shout out to Nocturnal Charm. And it all came together really nice.
Nice. Right. Are we ready with the video for Testify? So while we're waiting for technology, tell us about Black Girl Magic.
Oh, Black Girl Magic is another record we got on the project. Ashley Brown is on that record. That's produced by my man B Heat. That's just another empowering record for the women. It wasn't no thought put into that either. It's kind of like time for it, and that's kind of how we always talk about, you know what I'm saying, our women like in the camp anyway, you know what I mean? It's just like we were tired of the negative, you know what I mean, the way that they portray women all the time, so we had to write something positive. So I think it really came out nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is a different era right now in music and hip hop and also rap. I mean, it has definitely shifted in terms of a different tone and portrayal of women. It's gotten better, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But it used to be pretty rough.
Yeah, you still got, I mean, it's still certain pockets of the roughness, but it's getting better, I think.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Testify. Take a look at this.
Holmes. Now I remember days when we didn't have shit, my nigga. Like how the hell you getting by, man? This music gotta level off quick, go figure. My nigga, you ain't never lied. Now my homies out of college getting chips way bigger. It's weighing heavy on my pride. Had the vision, but it wasn't like this, my nigga. We chose infinite, work to the most high. Been down, made it work though. Big dreams with a fur coat. Rock Giuseppe like church clothes, but they can tell a nigga came in from the dirt though. I've been breaking flows down since the first show. Think you need a code now, we secured though. And whatever it is, just know you ain't alone. And if they doubted you once, then you should sing along. And it goes.
Used to worry about the scope of shit we said tonight. Me and my homies on the road, I came to testify. Let them tell you you can't make it there. One thing I know is you can make it there. Refuse to live in sadness and reciprocate the madness. They try to trade my passion for dollars, fame, and status. My heart just got to asking, is that what really matters? My heart just got to asking, is that what really matters?
Look, we've been making records since before we had hits, my nigga. Yeah, that's long before the wave for that auto-tune shit, go figure. Yeah, I had a lot on my mind, I'm from the bottom, can't forget my niggas. It's all part of the grind, we come together and we might just get it. A nigga might just, hold up, straight to hell in the first row. Teacher told me don't curse though. She also told me I would never ever be this large, so this ain't nothing that you used to. Look at the way he spit game, call it foolproof. Or the way he pull words like a Bluetooth. Gotta prove, slow grind, no time, never co-sign. It's go time, nigga, break through for you too.
Used to worry about the smoke, but shit we said tonight. Me and my homies on the road, I came to testify. Don't let them tell you you can't make it there. One thing I know is you can make it there. Refuse to live in sadness and reciprocate the madness. They try to trade my passion for dollars, fame, and status. My heart just got to asking, is that what really matters? My heart just got to asking, is that what really matters? Matters, matters.
So that was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wow. So it's just interesting talking to you because you are on the newer end of musicians, and you've seen so much when it comes to, like, you've been, performing, like you said, and writing and so forth, but in terms of really debuting and making your presence known on a wider scale, it's new. How do you deal with pressure to be a certain way or do things a certain way when it comes to conformity or wanting to make sure that you are going to have something that's going to be successful versus something that's truly coming from your heart?
Yeah, I think that's a lot harder than what people think. And it's not like a conscious thing that we do. It's kind of like subconscious, because it's like you'll find yourself just hearing a record on the radio, and then you'll go into the studio and not knowing it, but your next record will sound like the record that they playing on the radio all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I try to block a lot of the distractions out and kind of stay in that zone. But it's difficult, because you never want to say the wrong thing. You never want to because I was nervous about the I Am Black project, to be honest with you, but I think we wrote it really well. But I was like, I didn't want it to go to a place where we would alienate ourselves from certain groups and demographics.
What do you mean? Talk more about that.
It's just it's a dangerous time, and I never wanted to be like, you're either with this or this. You know what I mean? I don't want to show divide. I kind of wanted just to. The goal for this was to show pride. And that was just it. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're being pro-black, or it doesn't mean you're anti anything else. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to make that clear. It's for us. It's for our community. You know what I mean? And it's about time that we had some positivity. It's no cursing in it, so you can ride down the street and listen. You know what I'm saying? With whoever.
Children or
you know what I mean?
whoever.
Or your grandmother or whoever.
Yeah.
And it's decent. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm excited, but it's hard, you know what I mean, to not want to be like these other people too, who they're giving all this acclaim to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to stick to your guns. But it's hard. It's a struggle every day. Instagram, all this other stuff. It's hard.
And how are you staying connected? I mean, I know you're on social. You are on Instagram and so forth. But how are you doing all that and finding time to record and, promote in other ways?
Actually, I don't spend that much time on social media. I've never been a social media guy like that. My people always tell me bro, you need to get your followers up. You need to have 64,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never been that type of guy. I could make videos all day of me holding my phone and putting it in my face and rapping and trying to do that type of thing. But I've always been so focused on the craft. This is these people want to show that they're doing it right now, but I really do it. We really do it. And I think that I always told myself when the time came for everybody to see and for it to be showcased, I was gonna be ready. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I didn't spend no extra time
Yeah.
looking up. You see what I'm saying?
You know, and that's not unlike other artists. I mean, so and not just artists, but professionals.
Right.
Say, for instance, your doctors, your lawyers, your painters, whomever.
That's true.
They are so wrapped into their passion. It's their passion. It's what they do, and so the business side of it, sometimes it's just not as exciting.
Really?
You know.
That is true. And it's tricky because you gotta have both with this. It's
You
about
have to.
balance. It's
Yeah.
all about balance. And I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of like about balance.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be too far over here. I can't love it so much that, you know what I mean, I'm not eating off of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
precisely.
You gotta have a plan to do both.
You gotta eat. You gotta pay
And that's
your
why,
rent, right?
yeah, you know, and that's so true. And that's why I love the situation that I'm in, because at the same time, like, I get to be an artist, but at the same time, I get to learn how to be a real boss, you know, a CEO,
Mm-hmm.
and see how they are making different moves and get introduced to certain people that I wouldn't even be
Yeah.
around. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm really excited. I'm
Have you
really
been
excited.
thinking about business courses or anything that you can take? I mean, what are you gonna do
Off and
to
on.
really beef up, you know, that side?
That's I haven't really thought about school like that ever since, you know what I mean, I didn't
Yeah, I'm not
finish
talking
it.
about any formal school or anything
Oh,
like
right,
that.
yeah, of course, but
yeah.
I'm always on that. Like anything, like we plan on getting some houses, you know, property. We gonna flip those, and you know what I mean. I love popcorn,
Yeah,
right?
really?
So yeah, like I'm a popcorn fiend.
So you like Garrett's and have you been to Garrett's yet?
That's the gourmet
Yeah,
place.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's out of
yeah.
control.
You know, see, but I love like popcorn, so I always wanted to come out with my own brand and throw the popcorn out there. You know, and
Nice.
this is a bunch of stuff we gonna
That's
buy.
good. I mean, if you're performing and you get popcorn, I mean, that's like that
You know,
goes
it's a
very
movie.
well together.
It's a movie
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be tight. Plan to buy a couple car lots, you know what I'm saying, and do that. It's just we have a lot of business things. That's why it's like people get nervous with me because they like, I don't want you to think it's just music. You know what I mean? Life is more than living in the studio. I've been hearing that for years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's just like now, like my mind is there, but I've always thought if I master this thing right here,